Now let's get right into the programming here. I'm going to go ahead and answer the first emailer here. It asks me, Morpheus, I got a question for you because me and my family are interested in what you are teaching. Do you have a school that you teach? Are you principal? Are you actual teacher? Or do you teach in any organization? I would like to know, and I appreciate the info. Good job on your channel. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes I'm disappointed in myself because I can think better than I can talk. And oftentimes, maybe it might be because you all are getting the information wrong. Or maybe it's because of the words that I am putting together, because I can be very passionate sometimes. And I can think about what I'm going to say easier than actually saying the words, where they jumble up together. Sometimes I'll say the wrong words. Sometimes I just give out a misunderstanding. Okay, so you can never say that I've never told you. So I'm going to make it as clear as possible. No, I do not work at a school. Okay, do not work at a school. I'm not a principal, nor am I a teacher. Okay, I have the potential. I have the ability to do so, but that's not enough to be certified as a teacher. Okay, and I'm not going to get into the details of even if I wanted to, but I'm going to share that in just a moment, not to get ahead of myself. Okay. We're your classroom of Morpheus. You've been in it. If you're asking that question right now, that means you have not learned anything, and I have failed as a teacher. Right now, as you are listening to me, this is my classroom. My classroom is about spirituality. My classroom is about relationships. My classroom is about health. It's about science. It's about nature. It's totally about the matrix, and the matrix expands on multiple subjects. Okay. Now, as I promised, you asked me this question, would I get into the school system? I wouldn't, even if it was available, for various reasons. Now, you would ask me, why do I say that I am a teacher? Because I teach, I instruct, I advise. Okay, teaching is in various forms. But when you practice it in the form of a career or a professional position, then of course the schools are going to want you to be certified. The schools are going to want you to sign up to their program. The schools are going to want you to do it their way, as to not stepping on any toes and miseducating the students or the kids or however. Okay, here I am certified in free speech. I'm certified because I am allowed, not necessarily allowed, of course, I don't use that word, okay, but because this is my platform to do so. Whereas should you have the ability to learn and understand what I am saying, you will benefit, you will advance, and there is just about a guarantee that there is going to be some good learning here. Okay. Now, on to the school system as far as what I know. Okay, yes, my knowledge is vast. Of course, I don't know everything, and I am not in full flush with just about all the systems that might be around your country. Of course, that's a common sense. But what I know about the school system today is it's a very sticky, it's a very tough situation to get into, because parents aren't necessarily raising their kids. They're just watching their kids. They're just watching them at home. They're not raising them. Okay. And the majority of them, when they come into the school system, they are bringing their regiments from home, from mom, from dad, into the school system. These girls are practicing what mom does at home and what mom isn't doing. And as a athletic, physically attractive, well-built man such as myself. I will not put myself in the position for these young girls of the age 15, 16, 17, and so forth, okay, to start throwing passes at me because of their great mother at home. Okay, no, it's not a distraction for me. No, it's not that I have no self-control. Okay, I am not willing to put myself in that position. Even further still, with how crippling it is for men just to be masculine men, whereas we are automatically accused, okay, just for being who we are and being around women or girls of any age. You know, so it's always best to be careful in those type of situations. And if you can, you just disconnect yourself altogether. Okay, so I choose to disconnect myself altogether. And not only to mention the boys as well. The boys go in there with the indoctrination of their parents. Okay, and some of them, they're feeling themselves, they're smelling themselves. So they're in the classroom, they have a cocky personality and disposition. You know, they want to talk while you're teaching. They want to show off in front of the girls that are in the classroom because they're raised to be blue pill betas. Okay, thinking that they're alpha. You know, they're getting into the sports team, they're getting into whatever their parents are putting them through. All right. And it ends up a difficulty at that time because students don't want to learn during that time. They're a distraction during the classroom, and there's always going to be a struggle. All right. I'm not going to put myself in that position where I am the teacher who's going to have to lift the guy up from the desk and put him outside the classroom. Like there was and this is what I mean, not putting my hands on him specifically or getting in his face. There was, and I don't know the detail of the story, but it wasn't long ago where there was a teacher who picked up the student. He didn't pick him up by the hands. He just picked the desk up where the student was sitting on, and I think put it in him out in the classroom, out in the hallway. Okay, to me personally, as a martial artist, okay, as a advisor, whatever, slash, you know, the list goes on. Okay. That in itself, besides anything becoming domestic and violent, did not seem and does not seem like it could have harmed anyone, and it shouldn't have been an issue. Because the teacher, as far as what I know, didn't get in the child's face. The teacher didn't pick up chalk and throw it at the child. The teacher didn't discriminate the child. The teacher didn't do anything that harmed the child whatsoever. You know, the teacher just picked the desk up with the child sitting in the chair and escorted him out of the classroom. All right. And I don't want to be that person because these children can be quite disturbing. These students can necessarily and definitely cause other students in the class not to be able to learn because they want to show off. Once I began to see as well that there were some students as well that wanted to fight the teachers, they talk back no matter what age they are. I've decided that's not going to be my field that I'm going to get into. Okay. Tutoring is for free. All right. You can mentor if you have the ability to mentor and the time. That is all up to the parents. That's all up to your personal life. That's all up to those who are around you, depending on how they feel and how far they're willing to go. Okay. So what would happen is, as I am teaching others or adults or speaking to them about life, speaking to them about what I speak to you about, they are concerned about their children's future. They hear what I am saying and they understand. So they, in all their wisdom, which is, thank goodness to the universal God, the real energy, okay, they want to implement and give that same knowledge to their children so they can grow up to be little Morpheuses, to be the free Neos that we want them to be. So then when they're struggling in their homework, if the parents are too busy, if the teacher gave them a test or going to give them a test, or they need to understand something further, they will ask Morpheus to help. Okay, and then from there, I become a tutor or a mentor or someone who just simply helps them with their homework. Therefore, I won't go any further than that. So forgive me if I have misled you or I gave you a misunderstanding. All right, sometimes when I'm speaking, I get very energized because I love helping people. And so I would like to put myself in those good positions. I would like to be looked at as a figure of a teacher or of a guiding light, okay, or of any high social professional, such as a counselor, such as a I'm not a psychologist, but such as a psychologist. Okay. Yes, I have all the skills. Yes, I have done the studies. Yes, I have the potential. You can, of course, the fruit is practically in my audio, but I don't want to mislead you and think that that's what I do as a professional. Okay. Or that's what I'm certified to do, that I go around the country and that's what I do. All right. But what I can do on and often is refer you to those who have the certification that does that on a professional circle. All right. I leave that up to them and I stay out of the sticky mess. Okay. That's why I say I am an advisor and I am a teacher, because what I speak about, you will learn something from. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my next email, but before I do, okay, if I am elevated to the next level, that is not something that Morpheus is doing. That's how other people see me as. Oftentimes when I'm tutoring or I'm helping with homework, it is the child or it's the teenager or it is the mother or father themselves that will consider me to be the teacher. Not that I have come from the school. Most times I am supporting the teachers. Once they give the homework, okay, to the child, I go over the homework with them and make sure that they're getting the lessons properly and done. Next emailer called me in. Mr. Morpheus, I hear that you are a mechanic and you work on cars and you are well endowed in it. And I heard you say in one of your audio logs that you are an enthusiast as well. And I have some questions because I want to get into it. I don't know too much about cars, but I want to know what will be your best tips. What would be your best tips as to what I need to look out for, and how should I prepare myself to work on these vehicles or even the new cars that are coming into the circulation? Well, I will tell you this, my dear friend, very simple. Okay. First of all, you do want to be prepared ahead of time. The things that I do. Okay. You want to wear gloves. Get you a box of gloves, some good gloves, depending on what you're sensitive to. Some people are allergic to latex or latex powder. Okay. Having gloves will help you from busting your knuckles. Okay. Will help you from scarring your hands. It will help you from getting your hands full of grease. All right. That grease sometimes will not be washed away. All right. And oftentimes that will help you as well, because you're not going to be working on the car for the whole day. Okay. Oftentimes it will be a few hours, but you're going to stop in between to take a break, or you're going to want to go in the house, or you're going to want to play with your children or something like that. So when you have on your gloves, you can take your gloves off and leave the oil on your gloves. Okay. Just as well, you wear some dirty clothes. Wear some clothes that you don't care about, because those clothes are going to get full with oil and dirt, grime, and dust from the cars. All right. Whatever that you work on. All right. Next thing you want to do is make sure you wear some eye protection or some goggles, because dust, debris, and all sorts of items that you're going to be getting from the vehicle, that dust is going to be flying. You're going to be breaking nuts and bolts. That's going to be rusted on there. Those metal shavings in the matter of specks is going to be flying at you. So it's best to protect your eyes. And it's even more so that you have your gloves and your glasses at the same time, your eye protection at the same time. They're both there for a reason, Because oftentimes if you find yourself without any gloves, and then you're not wearing any eye protection, and you rub your eyes or your face, or you got an itch, you'll find yourself putting that oil or the dirt and the grime on your face and burning your eyes. All right. It's amazing how oftentimes when I work around mechanics and work with them, where they got dirt and grime all over their face, all over in their hair, and stuff, in their their fat, greasy fingers, full with grease and dirt underneath their nails. And then the first thing that they do is that they go grab a cup of coffee and take a swig and chug it down and get right back to work with their grimy, greasy hands. And you wonder why a lot of people get sick. You wonder why they end up in some trouble later on in the future. The manufacturer of the products, the fluid and the oil and the sprays, tell you in the back of it that is harmful for your health, that is harmful, and it can cause cancer. All right. But you'll still see people that want to work on their car with their bare hands because they're He-Man. They're tough. They come from the Caucasus Mountain like barbarian. And I'm going to go ahead and get under this car. And I don't need gloves. I don't need protection. I don't need a mask. And you see him on the video without gloves on. All right. And that oil will seep into your skin eventually, because it's not made for organic flesh. It's made for metal, plastic, and other items. If it's going to penetrate nuts and bolts, if it can break it free, all right, it's a very strong chemical that can also hurt your derma, your pores. All right, make you have bad skin, and it also make you, it damages your hair as well. When you see somebody when they have grease all over their face, you got to wonder, what are they doing? They don't love themselves. They can't possibly be taking safety precautions, and they don't care about safety precaution. It's a different story if the oil just splashed on you. That's one thing. All right, but it's a totally different subject altogether when you realize it's just fingerprints and finger marks, because they want to, and the oftentimes is you're going to sweat as well. That's another thing that you need to understand when you're working on your car. There's going to be some tight spots for your bolts and your nuts, and getting the alternator out, the starter, working on the head gasket, the intake, all right, air filter, so forth, so on. All right, what happened is you end up wiping your face with the back of your hands. My other suggestion is to get a roll of towels, or a roll of toilet paper, paper towels, or even a rag that you can actually take off your glove, take the rag, dab it on your face, get back to work. Oftentimes, a lot of people, they frustrate themselves further because they're underneath the car, over the car, and instead of stopping for at least 5 minutes or 2 minutes, they can't wait. That drip of sweat come down, and they wipe their face with the back of their hands with that salty sweat, with the chemicals that are already on their hands, which makes a bad combination. All right, so you got to take precautionary measures with that, and also going further with that. All right, make sure that you have the proper lighting and the proper tools when you're working on your vehicle, because that can also either stall you, or it'll make you look silly because now you're struggling with the part that you're trying to get off with the wrong type of tool. The tools doesn't mean that it has to be the highest of high quality and high expensive tools. Don't listen to people when they tell you that they're trying to sell you a product. You understand Morpheus. Morpheus does not, I don't agree with that. All right. There are all kinds of ways, and there's other tools that you can use to handle a problem with your car. There are cheaper tools that will work. It don't have to be name brand. As long as the tool gets the job done, that's what matters. All right. When you get into the ball game of buying expensive tools, DeWalt's, what are their names? I don't know, DeWalt's, high compressors, okay, torque wrenches, so forth and so on, right? And the power tools and tanks and things like that, things can get quite expensive, and it just continues on. But if you are frugal with your money and you know what you are doing, and which you should anyway, you need to study your manual, study the car, do your research first on how you are supposed to take this part off. then you will figure out that it may not be as hard as you think, and you might have household tools that you have handy that can help you with that product. You just got to think first before you get into it. Don't start working on the car if you're not prepared, if you have not studied it, if you did not think about it the night before you did your work on the car. Okay, then you're going to hurt yourself. Once you do open up the hood and you start working on it, you're going to find yourself driving back to the auto store, getting tools 2 or 3 different times in the middle of your job, and making the job longer, making it harder. And I will begin to give you even more tips and help you out even further, maybe on other automobiles that I may know of. And if you have any questions, maybe about starters or alternators, or if a car is acting a certain way and symptoms like that, that will be probably in the future. You know, if you email that, if you have that question, then I might be able to answer that for you. All right. No, I don't work in a shop. Absolutely not. What Morpheus, I'm an entrepreneur. I do things on my own. Okay. I am a free man. All right. I hold my own status. That's what I do. All right. I don't work on anybody else's dime like that. I work on my own dime. Next emailer emailed in. Interesting. I'm kind of, someone have done their homework. They said, you are the new Dr. Phil Valentine. You are the new Dr. Phil Valentine as to how you talk about the Matrix, and you talk about the schematics of different dimensions and the in-depth understanding of the world. I appreciate that. That's how can I put it? I'm honored. I'm very honored. I went through some of Dr. Phil Valentine's work. I wasn't a student of him, but I have studied and watched and learned as well, and seen some facts that he was talking about. Okay, and just like any other type of content creator or a person that may say something, the one honor that I will say that I have been using accidentally, and I mean not to do it, but it made sense. When Dr. Phil Valentine would say, overstand, not understand. And that's what I use a lot. So I'm going to give honors to Valentine for that. That's what I use, and he said that, and it just became a part of my world. And it made sense how you need to overstand something, not understand something. I don't like to understand anything or be under anything. Be over it by learning of it and take it to the next level. Learn of it and be able to teach somebody of the next steps. Okay, or be better than that in what you know, whereas you completely overstand what you're talking about. All right, and take yourself to the next thought pattern of it. So you will hear me say often understand or overstand. When I say overstand, that means that means understand it, meaning comprehend it. Comprehend it, study it, and accept it. Okay, whereas you know what this thing is, now overstand it by putting it in your mind and making it permanent and taking yourself to the next stage of learning. Say, okay, I devoured this information. I'm ready for more. That's what it means. Put the plate down and you got your fork and spoon on the side and your napkin, and you're saying, okay, I want some more. I overstood this. I want more. All right. So thank you for that. He's a lot more popular than myself, and he talks about other subjects as well. And a very good guy, very sharp, very good guy. So that's an honor. Next emailer here from, let's see, where are they from? Okay, from Illinois. From Illinois, America, Illinois. Here, okay. Leon C., I am a man who likes my video games. Now, I hear you discuss about games every now and then. And here we go. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 to 4 years now. And she's always complaining about my video games. She hates it when I sit down to play video games, and some of her girlfriends try to shame me and say that I am a child because I like playing video games, and that I can be doing something else with my time, such as what they like to do. It is kind of crazy how these girls around here want to take control of our life, even when we are doing something as men that we enjoy doing on our own personal time. They want to destroy it. They want to take control of it because they want us to be just like her. Thanks for the good job, and you're doing good work on your channel. You're opening my mind one day at a time. At first, I didn't quite understand you, but once I start doing the research myself, I just did not want to accept the red pill, but it was true. Wow. And there's things on the bottom. Okay. All right. He brought up a very good, this might be big, but I'm going to try to make it small as possible. I got another email here that's large, just like that. And it's going to take up some time here. But I am going to tell you this. You are in my classroom. You are here. So you are ready to learn. All right. As Morpheus, my red pill is different because I am in a different dimension. This is my genre. My genre, as you know, is to bring you out of the superstition and the mindless deceptions that you have accepted for a long time. So the classroom will begin actually now. He understands something, and you men also need to understand a thing. Now, video games is a very big subject, whether you know it or not. I hear this a lot with some of the men that I talk to, some of the men that I advise, some of the men that I train in the gym, and some of the men who greatly need guidance in their world. And their women are always harping at them if they decide to spend 30 minutes playing a Madden football game. Some of them like their Call of Duty. They love their Call of Duty games. They just want to put on their headset and enjoy themselves for at least 45 minutes before they get on to the task at home. But let me bring some light into this darkness. Misery loves company. If you encounter, first of all, men, if you encounter a woman who is willing to turn her nose up and go the opposite direction because you are in front of the television, you need to close the door immediately. I'm telling you that as a friend. I'm telling you that with my psychological mind, okay? And with all the knowledge that I have, okay, as an uncertified teacher, but a teacher nonetheless, okay? Understand this. It will be best to leave her standing right there because it shows you just about everything about her that you like to overlook. It is a huge red flag because I told you before, video games aren't what it used to be. It is not just for children. Most of those games are M-rated. That means for mature. A lot of 19-year-olds on down aren't as mature as you think they are. Those are adult subjects most times, adult activity. And it does more. It does more than just sit there and entertain you. You can actually learn something from some of these video games. It will sharpen your motor skills. It will sharpen your ability to solve difficult problems. Okay, it will relieve your stress. It is good for you when you get home and you have a lot on your mind. You're going through things. You are struggling. You don't feel all that good. You are upset. You are mad. When you turn on the video game, it will solve your issue immediately, most times. It will take your mind away for at least 20, 30 minutes or 45 minutes. If anything, it will balance you out eventually. It is not, if a woman tells you that playing video games is childish, she's the childish one. She's the unlearned one. She is the one. And the reason why she's telling you this because she don't want you spending your time on something else that isn't her. She wants you to be like her. And oftentimes in my studies and my adventures around your world and your westernized civilization, most times when I evaluate, when I'm sitting there talking to a family and I'm in the front room sipping on a glass of tea and he pulls out a game, okay, and she began to say, oh, you're childish. Y'all getting ready to pull out a video game. You need to grow up. You haven't grown up yet. I watch. Let's see what she does. Let's see what she's doing. Why he's doing. Let's see what she's doing. Cackering on the phone. She'll go in the room and watch Netflix. She can't sit still. She want to go out and go buy something at Kohl's. All right. Or she'll cook something very small on the stove or something like that. Something just to pretend as if she's, this well made around the home or the house. Okay. I'm just saying made. Don't get defenseful about the word. All right. Chill out. So she's trying to pretend that she's this good woman. Okay. But I notice she don't have a hobby of her own. She's not doing anything. She's not crocheting. All right. She's not reading a book. She's not writing a book. She's not thinking about future preparations and plans. She's not setting out a portfolio or anything like that. She's sitting down waiting for him to entertain her. Most times she would get jealous. She would get mad because he's focusing on something that's about him. He's making him, and believe it or not, he's actually making himself better. And I'm going to tell you how in just 1 minute. Okay. So bear with me. So what she wants to do is she wants to take his attention that he's focusing on something else and put it on her, because when he's in his zone, when he got his headset on, when he have the controller in his hands, he's in a totally different world. He's in the third dimension. And she don't like that. She gets jealous oftentimes. And also because she can't entertain herself. She don't have a hobby. She can't find something that she can actually be logical with. Or excuse me. She can't find anything that she can put her head in. Okay, she can't find something that appeases to her if it's not entertaining her. If it's not popping up on her message box, if it's not popping up on her Facebook box, if it's not popping up on her Instagram. Okay, if there's nobody giving her that energy, that focus point. Okay, she'll walk around like a chicken with his head cut off. So when she finds him sitting down playing a simple, decent, mature video game for himself to spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes, which he is entitled to and he is obligated to for himself, she wants to cry like a grown child. Okay, men, stop tolerating that. Look at her like she has 3 heads and tell her if she don't like it, there's the front door. Pack your bags and get moving, because I'm going to do what I can for myself. This is therapeutic. This is good for me right now. And this will level out my mind before I decide to get up and do some tasks around the house. All right. Sometimes you men got to understand that you got to do something for yourself. You got to carve a circle for you where you can go. There's all sorts of ventilation parts. Work doesn't have to be your only ventilation. Going outside and doing grass outside, cutting the grass, don't have to be your only ventilation. Going to the gym to pump iron doesn't have to be your only way of escaping ventilation. All right. SEX don't have to be your only form of ventilation, and it should not be. Okay. As an advisor, I will advise for you not to do that, because that will destroy your marriage and your relationship more than what it will do to heal you and relieve you of stress. Whenever you go into that type of circle, when you're trying to donkey dunk and you are using it as a form of relieving stress, as a form of controlling yourself, as a form of escape, that escape is going to destroy you, because that is not what it's made for. It benefits you that way. It is the fruits in your travels when you are donkey dunking. All right. And it benefits, and it's a sexual healing. I understand, and all around. But you should not go into it psychologically that way, because eventually it is going to destroy you, and it's going to destroy your relationship, especially when she uses it against you, especially if she pulls away from it, especially if it's not enough, meaning she just stopped taking care of herself, gains weight, gains an attitude. You can't stand her. You're arguing all the time, and now your comfort zone is taken from you. Your donkey dunking healing, all right, has an emotional face now. Now you can't deal with it. Now you're stressed out and you need a Colt 45, or maybe you need a Jägermeister. right? You got to have other forms of ventilation, and it can be successful and healthy. Besides the cigarette, besides any type of drug, besides getting yourself in any type of domestic issues. Okay, you have that video game that's sitting right there in front of you, and it will help. It can help in this situation. Now, another thing that I have noticed, every now and then when I'm getting ready to create an audio for you, or if I'm getting ready to go speak to a client or do some mentoring or teaching as I do, okay, or give some instructions to someone on how to work on a car, or I'll go help them work on the car themselves. I told you I'm everywhere. That I'm true. All right. What I say is exactly what it is, just not probably the way that you think. All right. So what will happen is I need to get back to the house and I need to level myself. I'm a single man. All right. I'm not married, not going to get married. I do what I want to do. All right. When I go home, it's a man cave. All right. I don't let a woman come in there and tell me what I'm going to do with my man cave, with my house, with my tools. All right. I got billboards all over the place. I got books everywhere. My office, got stacks of paper sitting there. Got a large couch, large oval couch. I think they call it the elbow couch or something like that. Big flat screen television, nice carpet. Pretty decent place, comfortable. Lay everything out. Okay, and there's pictures on the wall that depict what I like: cars, Porsches, truck pictures, things of that nature, trophies everywhere, right? So this is my zone in place. And when I get there, I like to just relax for a few minutes before I get up and do the next task. All right. So I find myself on the often as well getting into the video games. I've been doing it for a long time. It's been enjoyable since I was a child, and I always believe in remaining polished. I believe in being who you are as being what you was, and don't let yourself lose yourself. One thing you don't want to do is lose yourself over time, because that is a very harsh red pill for you to swallow. When you are this 45-year-old dude, 55, 65, or 30, whatever else, and you do a self-reflection that you're not that person you used to be, not because you had to change, but because you changed from losing your passion, losing your energy, losing what it means to live, to laugh, to love, to be enjoyable, to enjoy life. All right, you don't want to be in that position, because you start hating yourself. You lost your focus. You start hating yourself. All right. So every now and then I will pick up that controller and play the video game. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and so forth and so on. And I've gotten so good on some of the video games and this is how I just told you, it will make you better. It will help you. Where it's not on normal difficulty any now. Now some of the games I'm playing on the extreme difficulty. I'm playing it on the hardest that it could ever be to see how good I am. All right, the difficulty level. And when I'm able to beat these games at that level, and I have, okay, I'm proud of myself. It polishes me. It makes me better. I'm able to deal with the difficult tasks or puzzles at a higher rate, okay, with logic and sensible, okay, with sensibilities, with understanding at a faster rate. Sometimes the game is even faster when you play it at a more difficult level. So I'm challenging myself. I'm challenging the clock. I'm challenging the computer to make what better? My mind, my brain, my motor skills, my ability to calculate and to deal with difficult problems immediately. All right. If a woman is trying to keep you from that, she does not love you, and she can't really love herself, because she can't really understand what it means to challenge yourself and to do better. All right. She can't quite understand, okay, that you need to learn how to entertain yourself, that you need to find something that you are good at and make yourself better at it, to the point where you can close your eyes and hit a bullseye from 2 miles away, because you've been practicing archery for a long time, and that's your zone. That's your place. And she comes along and, oh, you shouldn't be practicing archery. This is boring. Why are you practicing archery? You can be doing something else with your time. I want you to focus on me, not you doing archery. But this is something that you love. You challenge yourself like this. This is your zone. This is how you free your mind and you free your soul. And here she come around talking about it's childish. That should be a slap in your face for her to say something like that. Your hobby is childish. And then you should turn around and ask her a question. Listen, this. All right, let me calm down. Here I go again. Here go Morpheus. Listen, it's real easy. Ask her, have she done it? Most of them, they haven't played a video game since Mario Brothers, since the first and second Mario Brothers, when they jumping over pipes on the first Nintendo, the big block Nintendo, the black and white one. But yet they have nerve enough to tell you that what you're doing is childish and you playing PlayStation 5 or 4 for some of you, or Xbox One, right? The game is different. It's a different generation now. It's a different graphic system. It's more realistic than what it ever used to be. And it's aimed at adults, not children as much as you think it is. Most children wouldn't know what to do. They'll sit there with the controller and say, okay, I just don't know. Give them a car game. Some of them, they will slide straight off of the track and the road because it's more realistic than what it ever used to be. Now you got to think about the status of the car. Now you have to slow down on the turns. You got to figure out what functions and augmentations is on this car, how powerful this car is. All right, what kind of car this is. You can't just get on the game and you just push the accelerator button and think you're gonna win. You're gonna slide right off the track and into the wheels that are on the side, into the barriers, the barricades. I can't win, and the car is just spinning around 360. And this is difficult and hard, but an adult would understand. An adult will deal with them. Okay, I understand. Okay, this is a real car. It's a Dodge Viper. It has a V12 engine. Some of them have V10s. Of course, most of them V10. Okay, and it's going to drive like this around this turn. So I'm going to calculate this, and I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to figure out how to drive this car. Okay, and if she's considering that to be childish, okay, you need to take a step back. Take a few steps back. You're seeing her for what she is. All right, that's illogical, and it's a disrespect to you, and it should be a slap in her own face. Especially if she haven't done it, she's not doing it, she's not interested in it, and that tells you she's not challenging herself. She wants to entertain herself with what you entertain yourself with, meaning with you, with your time. She wants to usurp you so you can be her video game. You're the one she wants to play, and most of you allow it to happen. You put your golf clubs in the closet. You put your boxing gloves in the closet. You put your sports in the closet. You put hunting on the shelf. You'll put your motorcycle in the garage and cover it with a blue tarp. Some of you men, okay, you take your Rugsby ball and game and you duck it away. You tuck all that stuff away. Everything that makes you to be a man. Everything that can sharpen your skills. Everything that can give you relief, a freedom, and peace. Everything that can make you better, you put it aside because she gets in your face and she puts her hands on her hips and say, that's childish. Why are you doing that? You're out too long with the boys. You need to be here at home with me and the kids. You spent your time with the kids. Are you getting ready to spend time with the kids? All you want to do is spend 20 to 30 minutes with yourself before you get back to the task of playing football with your son or Barbie dolls with your daughter, whatever that you do. So you need that time to yourself. She don't understand because she never gives time to her own self. She wants you to be like her, where you are stressed out, you are chaotic, and you are going to be emotional, because eventually you will, when you put what gives you psychological rest and peace aside. Do you get that? So for you, my emailer, keep playing. Okay? If she think it's just for fun, even though you do have fun doing it, if she's considered to be childish, she's not the one for you. You need to stand on your ground and stick your chest out and be a man about it. Tell her if she don't like it, go kick rocks, because you're doing this for yourself. If she can't do what you're doing, if she's not interested in it and it's your zone, tell her to step off somewhere else. All right. It's more than just a game anymore. It's skill sharpening. It can help you. Because once you put you aside, she's going to want you, okay, to be there in front of her. So she can play you like a joystick. All right, someone just chimed in. Morpheus, you've given me more advice and learning than any of the indoctrinated programs that I was raised up in. I still love what you say. You are on point. LOL. Don't give the haters love. All right. I'm an equal opportunity person, so I lugged in here as well. There's another chime here. It says, Morpheus, you have been teaching me and raising me up to be the son that I was never in the hands. Okay, in the teaching and learning, I'm messing this all up. Morpheus, you have been giving me teaching, guidance, and advice more than the father figure that I have had in my life in the past 27 years. Wow. Your method is on point, and you're right about what you talk about. So regardless, I am your number one fan and will constantly support you. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that. I appreciate your chimes. One of them was from Katie, believe it or not, and another one was from Cliff. All right, I appreciate that, and I did read your chimes. However, now I'm getting ready to do the real work here, and I'm going to try to minimize this and not try to make it as long as the others. Look like it's going to be a part 2 and maybe a part 3 of this. Here is the emailer. Listen carefully, my American people and Red Pill Neos. Morpheus, I am 54 years old. A 54-year-old woman from Georgia. And I want to explain to you that it is true about women how they land how their land becomes dry, and especially the older one as they are getting older. I am finding out more that my friends, one who is 46 and another who is 39, they cannot find a good man, and they are divorcees. And I have been listening to some red pill content, as y'all like to call it, and MGTOW videos. And I did not want to accept it at first until I have seen it for myself. My very own sister friends are suffering that very thing today. I didn't know how to put my words in for any other channel or any other content creator. So you seem to be of a different red pill, which can bring a different light, which I think will be best for my subject. However, as we are struggling in this time in the country, it is rather sad, but true, that we are not understanding what we have created for ourselves. It is true that even now, the 46-year-old girl is thinking that she is still capable of finding a more younger, rich, tall man. And I've explained to her that she's too old for that now, and she's had her opportunity, and she should have stayed with the husband that she was with. I know this because I too have done this to myself. I thought that the grass will be greener and that the opportunities will still be there as it was when I was 23 years old. Wow. Men and women, I hope that you are listening to this. No, I want you to listen to this. I'm going to continue to read. Wow. We have all fallen out of a marriage. And we thought the opportunities was there and available for us. My other sister friend decided to go headlong into a career which had been successful for quite some time, but she has an issue with peer bonding with the other men since she is a divorced woman. I have no choice but to accept the fact that what you and MGTOW is saying is true, for we are living that nightmare. But a lot of these women do not want to admit it. Even when I have explained to them so often about the errors of our ways as the female species type, as you call us, they seem not to care. For some reason, they have been pumped up so high, where even when women like myself bring the reality to them, they are still thinking that they have a chance at the sexual marketplace. It is nice that you are continuing the good work as other red pill men and MGTOW, and I hope this message do you well, that other women may see the light one day and change their path. They don't want to be like me and my sister friends. I thought that once I divorced the men that I was with just recently, that the opportunities was going to come to me at the door. I did not need to go to it as it used to be so many years ago. But now the reality have set home, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel good, but it is a bed that we are going to have to lay in. And again, keep up the good work, Leon C., Mr. Morpheus. I hope your red pill awakens many, many, many women. All right. Thank you very much. The initials of CL. Must be short for Clarion or something like that. I don't know. CL. But all right, CL, I do appreciate that, and I'm very thankful for your email. And this is going to be our subject right now, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. I had a hard time reading that because there was oftentimes when I'm a little slow when I'm reading, because sometimes people will leave expletives there. There's some profanity there that they say because they are troubled, or they're common. They use that on a normal basis because it makes sense when you are in this situation. It's an emotional one. When reality comes home, you don't want to be there, right? And you want someone to explain to you what's going on, or you want to explain yourself in your frustration, right? But you could avoid that. You could avoid that if you just listen and try to change your path and be aware. Oftentimes, aircrafts and trains, they get warning signs from the controllers, the traffic controllers. You know, there's a warning that there's a storm coming. Rain's going to come. You have billboards that would tell you around your town and your country that there's a hazard, right? That there's an accident, up the street, something like that. Weatherman tells you that the weekend is going to be stormy and raining, so you're not going to plan a picnic or whatever you decide to do on that weekend. So you have heads up. Those who you may want to do it anyway, but you will look out for just in case it happens. You'll put the tent down and run. All right. Or you'll get to that point where there is an accident on the freeway. I call it a wreck. There's not too many accidents. An accident is something when you don't mean for it to happen. You mean for it to happen when you don't pay attention. When you have the cell phone in your hands, you're driving, you're talking with the passenger and you're not paying attention, or you think you're Mario Andretti. Okay. And again, you never played a Gran Turismo on any of your PlayStation systems. So you get on the highway and you gun it and you having fun, right? And, you get into a wreck. No, it's a wreck. It's not an accident. You made for that to happen because you prepared yourself, because you didn't train yourself. When you don't practice, you practice failure. Okay. When you don't practice to do right, you are practicing to do wrong without the measures or the regimen in front of you. Okay. So I don't call it an accident. Okay. It don't be no accident in my vocabulary. It was a wreck. You chose to do that. It was your goal. It was your goal to fail. Failing to plan is planning to fail, right? So you have these signs everywhere, okay? And there are some people who will listen and they'll say, okay, well, Morpheus is smoking. He's blowing smoke. You know, he don't know what he's talking about. Okay, he's just playing around. You know, red pill men, they're just hurt. MGTOW, they're just hurt. They're just hurt. And they go on and they get as old as my friend here, and their days are numbered. It's numbered. It's numbered. Not numbered as far as life is concerned. It's numbered as far as how many times you're going to be in Candy Cotton Lane. You know how you go to a fairground as a child and you got all these rides, everything is given to you. You got cotton candy, you got elephant ears, you got balloons everywhere, your parents is buying you stuff. You come home and you go straight to sleep and you had a good day. You got teddy bears and stuff all the way around you. It was like a birthday all over again. But it's numbered when you are ignoring the information that the opposite sex is telling you. We as men are talking and telling you about what is happening and what is going to happen. And sometimes women, or people in general, do not get the drift until it happens, until they are at that point or that age and reality comes home. And what this lady is saying is, you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person who will learn when it happens, because you cannot turn back the hands. You can't go back. You can't change the clock. You cannot. And now the lesson shall begin. Let me go ahead and give you this red pill. And I'm going to give myself one. Here. Put this in there. And here we go. Now, this applies to men and women. It's not limited to a gender. Okay? Because what you do not understand is, usually, if that is an okay relationship that you have had for 15, 16 years, all right, or 17, some of you 19, all right, there are some 19s, okay, and or even 5 years, all right, you are running the risk of not finding that same opportunity once you jump off of the boat, which is practically what this lady is saying. Because 15 years, let's just say 15 years for basic, right? 15 years ago was a different time. 15 years ago, your man thought differently, or your woman thought differently, according to the generation, according to the system, according to the laws at that time, according to how people thought at that time. Okay? So therefore, either you had an advantage at that time or a disadvantage, depending on what type of information that you was dealing with. Okay? But it was bad then. Now, I'm not going to say it was the worst. It was just bad, depending on how you was raised and your struggles. Today, because of the distortion between man and woman and the confusion in Agent Smith, and because we can't peer bond anymore, and because we don't know what love is anymore, and because we don't know what compassion is anymore, our courtesy, as we need to know, right? We're going downhill. We're only getting worse.
We're not getting better. So therefore, with a lot of women who are loving to swatch, like it's their clothes that you go into the club, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the club, I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna go here. She can go to the closet and change her clothes all the time. Sometimes they learn that at an early age. They learn that early on. Sometimes all these girls know how to do is change their clothes. They go in the house every 5 minutes. They got something else different on. You know, especially if she's 9, 10 years old, 11. You know, she come outside, play. You know, she go right back inside, and she come outside with something that's like, well, how many times you gonna change your clothes? Like, it's like, how many times you gonna do this? You know, so the same as that habit when she's a little girl and she grows older, she can just take something, discard it, you know, put something else on. It's a constant circulation. It's the same as what she do every now and then with a relationship, even more so when there's no accountability. All right. But what you don't understand is, and yes, I'm going to apply it to you men as well, is that she's thinking that she still have the opportunity when she jumps on the next boat, or the next boat is going to come. But that next boat is coming from the future. You know, that's 15 years later, 15 years where times have changed, 15 years where she had an advantage 15 years ago. Now there's no advantage. 15 years ago, she didn't have the child or the 2 kids. 15 years ago, she was probably 120 pounds. You know, now she's 180 or 190 pounds. Okay. Times have changed. You know, she can't do what she used to. She don't hang out like she used to. She don't have those curves like she used to. She don't walk around like she's not doing a circle S. That means when she's walking, she's bobbing her hips left and right. Okay, where she looks curvy, you know, the circle S. Right? So she can't do that anymore. You know, now she's just an O walking forward, you know, or I ain't gonna go there. I'm trying to be nice. She's not what she used to be. All right. So now she's expecting for you, a beta blue pill simp to come along, which there's plenty of them. You know, they're in the troves. Okay, they're going to constantly be there no matter what. Okay, taking leftovers on whatever is there. Okay, the leftover women. I know y'all heard about that before. Or women who's left behind. The blue pill beta is going to be there waiting for you. Okay, but real pill alpha, men who are getting knowledge from Morpheus and others, men who are doing better for themselves, men who are now today, they are learning now. Even 16-year-old boys are learning. 19-year-old boys are learning. Okay. They aren't tolerating it. You know, they're going to be, nah, I don't think so. No. Older men who haven't learned this type of thing many years ago, they are now learning it again, but differently. They are realizing their marriages of 27 years, 26, 15, 14, twin, whatever else, okay, wasn't what he wanted it to be. So then you try to go out there and find that same old flame or that same potential, that potential mate. All right. He's updated. All right. He's not playing the game again. He's not going to go on that roller coaster anymore. Whereas you'd go into that theme park and there's no fun for you. There's nothing there. You know, there's no cotton candy people are giving you anymore. You're not getting free rides anymore. You're not getting balloons and everybody's giving you teddy bears. Oh, you're so cute. Or the guy at the booth talking about, you know, you got like 10, 15 minutes, baby. Like, you know, you kind of hot, man. What type of man you where's your man at? You're not getting that no more. Okay, if he does, he may give you a spurt. He'll look at you up and down. And if he ever does that, okay, it's going to be like for 1 day, day and a half, or a week, or a short time, or a short term, and you will never see him again. And now he's just a notch on your belt because that's all he can be. No marriage in the future, but he'll spend a few days with you. What blue pill wouldn't? Our unlearned dude. Okay, because what you need to understand is men cannot peer bond either. There are some men who have their own issues as well, whereas they themselves have been in that same situation. So they feel like, and they know of, in their thinking and logic, that is all that's going to be acceptable is donkey dunking. All there is temporary fun, and that's it. Because peer bonding is over. Cohabitating is over. Saying I do and getting on one knees, or getting on one knee, okay, is over. Trusting is over, especially with all the nonsense and all these women talking about liberation and false accusation. The list goes on, blah, 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 blah. Okay, workplace harassment. Okay, him getting in trouble just because she yells and it's her fault. She only yelled because she fell and hurt her knee, and now everybody wants to attack him because he's the man in the center or the circle. Okay, all that foul play and unbalance, men, okay, aren't tolerating. They say, nah, I don't think so. Nah, I'm not thinking, no. I'm gonna pull the fish out of the ocean. I'm gonna kiss it and I'm gonna throw it right back. Because if I keep it, I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna get sick of looking at it. I'm gonna get sick because it takes too much to take care of it. I'm gonna get sick because it's taking too much of my time, too much of my energy, too much effort just to even pull it out of the water, only for it to be temporary. Then eventually he'll stop doing it. Okay, eventually he'll get tired. He'll stop being a fisherman, sitting out there for, all day. All right, waiting for you to jump on the hook. He'll get tired of that. So he'd rather spend his time doing something else, right? And just go to the market and go to the market where the fish is already hooked, which is online, which is your hookup places. Your Instagram, your Facebook, you can just go ahead and send me a picture. Let's do this online. Yeah, here's my connections right here. Let me tweeter you. So the fish is already there. It's already prepackaged. You don't have to sit outside all day with the hook waiting for you. You're already on the hook. Somebody already hooked you. You're already done. Okay, already prepared and ready, wrapped up. All you got to do is go to the store and do what? Drop some money on you and call it a day. Just buy it and go on about his way. Because that's our expectation now. It's no more virtue. No more patience. Because what are you being patient for? A bait and switcher? What you being patient for? Something that probably might even jump right back in the water on its own because it wants to get hooked by something else. Something else looks better. Someone else look like they have more potential than you. So she'll just jump right back in the water. Whoosh, and you don't wasted 5 hours just to get that fish and that hook just for the jump back off of it. Not even worth it. Not even worth it. So therefore, there's some men, and here we go. There are some men who have married you, or y'all been in marriages for 15, 16 years, 14, 10. Okay. Are you just married right now? And everything is working fine. Everything's working good in your eyes. What you don't understand is right now, you have the best that you are going to get. You got the best right now. Right now, you need to make the best out of it. Whatever your problem is, you fix it. Whatever the attitude is, clean that attitude. If there is an issue in the relationship, it's probably worth it at this point. It's probably worth it at this point, right? Besides the financial pendings and the contract that you got yourself into, and if there's going to be alimony, if you're going to have to pay child support, we understand all that. What I'm talking about is the very basic that you met this woman's with you, you got her. All right? That's what I'm talking about. Right now, okay, you got something that is at least working. Of course, it's that old Datsun that's rusted up, right? You're tired of looking at it. You just get in it and you just turn the key. The stick shift is wobbly. All right. The struts ain't working right. It's crickety. The muffler is loud while you're going down the street. But at least you got something to work with. Because what happens is, and I'm following this woman's energy. Listen, when you get rid of that car, it's going to be hard to find another one. And you would hope, you will definitely go to the church and get indoctrinated in order for you to get that Datsun back. Because now you're going to be out there on hand, you're going to be out there on foot, walking everywhere you go, because it's going to be hard to find somebody to pair bond with you without wanting more of you than what you are capable of giving or that you are willing to give. You're thinking, oh, well, once I get done with this marriage, I don't care. I can pay for the divorce, whatever else it is. I'll find me another woman. Yeah, you might find you another woman, but she won't stay. She's unqualified. All right. She's inadequate. She's been donkey dunking for a long time, and you're just getting leftovers. Right. Now you're struggling for you're struggling for something proper. It's not working right for you. And you was thinking that, oh, the opportunity is there. I'm not worried about it. You know, Morpheus, he don't know exactly what he's talking about. This dude is out of his mind. He's crazy. He's crazy. So you get divorced, right? And you're forgetting, once again, that you got with this girl 15 years ago. You got with this girl 4 years ago. 4 years ago is still a long time. 4 years before now. That's a long time. Things change now in a year rapidly because the human species aren't patient anymore, because now we're getting even more bored, not bold. If you can't hear me, we get bored now. Now we got to make up stuff to do. Now we're not content. We're even more uncontent with things. We got to create more devices, more technology, more ideas and things that are already working. We want to keep recreating the wheel until the wheel busts. That's how smart we are. Instead of being content and just keeping what we have because we are unsatisfied. So therefore, 4 years is a long time. Years ago with grandma and grandpa, to them, 20 years was a short time, or 15, 16 years was a short time. To them, 16 years was like 3 days, or you could say 16 years was like 6 years. Because they was patient. They took their time. They didn't have so many technical moogles around you, geeks and nerds and people. Oh, let's make something new. I got a great idea. Again, this is grass out here. Let's call it grass. This is a slab of concrete over here. Let's cut this concrete from this usual spot that's been working all this time, and we're going to move it to a different spot over here, and we're going to name it concrete. You know what? I got a great idea. Let's call it construction, or being constructive. Recreating the same old wheel all over again, changing but messing up stuff at the same time. Okay, what was working wasn't working enough for them, but because they got the power resources, they'll do it.
Call from 317.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in another gear. I'm gonna get off that rant because I can talk about that all day. I got something else to share with some of you who are listening to the sound of my voice right now. I went ahead and switched my studio around because it got kind of loud. They're doing some work out here. Sometimes you notice in the background that the sound may be a little different. You think I'm moving around with the microphone. Sometimes I do not. I simply sit there and I do move to other places because it gets loud outside, and sometimes the weather changes. Sometimes it can be some distortion. So I try to get into more quiet places in my studio so you can hear me. So I decided to move again and start all over again. Usually I don't like that. You know, when I'm really getting into the service of helping you, there's always a distraction to try to keep me from it. And it chops up my my video, and I don't like that. But the message is still thorough and you're still getting what you need. So it's almost like I'm trying to reach you and there's a person on the other end that don't want me to talk to you. All right. So I have to be creative to give the message to you. Out of love, I do this. So I want some of you who think I'm just a madman, crazy out of my mind, to understand something, that Morpheus have been ahead of the game for a long time. I am not the only one who knows about what I know about. Now listen to this. This gentleman, his name is Frank Lloyd Wright. Some of you know him, Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright was an American architect, an interior designer, a writer, and an educator who designed, listen carefully here, who designed more than 1,000 structures and completed 500 works. Wright believed in designing structures which were in harmony with humanity. Wait a minute. And its environment. A philosophy he called organic architecture. This philosophy was best exemplified by his design for Falling Water in 1935, which has been called the best of all time work of American architecture. Wright was a leader of the Prairie School movement of, architecture.
and developed the concept of the, I think you call that unison home. Usonian home. I think that's how you pronounce that. Usonian home. His unique vision for urban planning in the United States. Here we go. Frank Lloyd Wright was born in June 8, 1867. He passed away in April 9th of 1959. Now, y'all like, okay, okay. Morpheus, I hear what you're saying. What is about this Frank Lloyd guy? Yeah, he's one of our older elders. Let me tell you something that he said. Here you go. He said, I believe in God, only I spell it nature. Wow. So if you are thinking that I'm out of my mind and I'm delusional and you are so stuck on cognitive dissonance and I'm just so heavy-handed and I just don't know what I'm talking about, your ancestors, our ancestors, those who have come before us, the ones who deserve respect, they have been doing this for a long time, but we have been walking around with our fingers in our ear. We have been walking around in this new age plastic computer society, which is going to be the undoing of humanity because we've been mourned. So when we are driving in a speed train and it flies off the rails, right? When we are dealing with our everyday collisions that we deal with on a crossroad, okay, when we are dealing with technology items, machines that put us under, right? Because it weighs more than us. It's metal. It's heavy. When we are dealing with the some of the bacteria or diseases that are swarming around our country in places in homes, okay, it's because of these various people who have already come a long time ago. A long time ago who have been telling us about this, but we have not listened. They came way before Morpheus. This guy was way before myself, way before now. And he's been talking this. And just like me, I'm a writer. I design. I'm an educator because I'm educating you right now. Okay, I wrote a book. I'm concerned about kids and children in the future because, of course, I do like mentoring and tutoring and so forth and so on. Of course, he took his to the next level by being what? Architecture and all that type of stuff. Right? He believed in the future of humanity, and so do I. And I'm not even related to this guy. I'm not even related to him. So I thought of throwing that out there for you, and you can do your own research on that. Find it out for yourself. Look in the biography. Tap it in your ignorant phone. I mean, Google or your Google phone, and figure it out for yourself. You know, oftentimes a lot of people love arguing from a point of, I just said it, ignorance, from a point of not knowing the thing because they're emotionally into the thing. And then they hear guys like me coming on to the scene, talking some real stuff. And they're like, oh, who's this guy? What is he talking about? Oh, this is strange. He don't know what he's talking about. This dude is out of his mind. People have been talking about this for years, my female Neos and male Neos. They have been talking about what have happened was we have been encroached by Agent Smith, who did not want us to know what these people were telling us the whole time. He did not want us to know that there was ancestors and people, there were elders that deserved a crown of jewels that has been trying to put us on the right track for many years now, but now they're no longer with us. And because they're no longer with us, now Agent Smith can continue to rewrite history in the way that he wants to. So therefore, we'll never know about decent dudes like this guy who has been trying to help us, trying to tell us the facts. Simple, very strong golden words like that should awaken the nation. He says, I believe in God, but I spell it as nature, as to what I constantly tell you on a constant basis. And then you got these pastors around here telling you God is a man. You know how it's, listen, check this out. Do you know, Neil, how he is saying God is a man? When you say he, anthropomorphic, you are calling God a man. Whenever you say God is a she, you are calling God a man. When I mean man, I mean man, human species, anthropomorphic. All right? Automatically right there. Automatically, they'll be telling you that. And oftentimes you don't see it because you don't hear a lot of men like me talking like this. You don't hear a lot of people who are trying to raise up the spirit and the souls of our ancestors who knew the facts. See, there was elders in that time that was putting down the good measure and the good work. And there are people that I can name right now. I just don't want to name them because the country really don't like them today, because they've been preaching the truth for a long time. See, a lot of you, I guess I can put it out there and it's fine. Okay, it's fine right now. Okay. I respect Louis Farrakhan. I respect him. And of course, religion is not what I stand by. Okay. But I heard what he was saying. Okay. And it wasn't about the racial content. No, it wasn't about any type of hatred. No, that's not what I'm backing him up for. No. When he was discussing manhood, when he was discussing relationship, when he was discussing children, and he was discussing the future, okay, he was talking facts of internal empowerment as a human race, And this is one of our finest elders and ancestors. These are one of our finest people, one of our finest spokespeople that was trying to bring power back home to keep us at least organized and safe. All right. So no, whatever that you might think that I just hate religion, it's not about religion. It's about truth. I don't have to agree with everything that a person is saying. I listen to what they are saying, and there is some truth behind what they say. Okay. Which leads me to this next emailer. All right. So hold that thought. This is how I teach. This is how I speak to you so you would never miss a beat. Okay. Everything is tethered into one. You see how I slip from one to the next because I tie them in. This next emailer, put the paperwork out here. Here we go. Morpheus Leon C. My dad had introduced me to your channel because you talk on various subjects that have impressed him when it comes to empowerment and family, especially some of the distortions that we have between man and woman. But I also have realized you said something that my dad often tells me as well, that I should research everything before I decide to do a thing. What do you say about this? Because it can be time exhausting, and I don't want to keep grabbing my smartphone every time I have a question. And it just takes time to go to the in-depth of things that may take up a lot of my day and time. What suggestions would you make with your smart mind and intellect? You've impressed me and my family, and my dad loves you a lot and said you have been putting a lot of people and myself on the right track. Keep up the good work, and may God bless you. All right. Well, it's funny that you said may God bless you, but I'll let that be, because my lessons stand to be true. You see, I don't need to get upset. There's no need for me to go back to my teachings and say, well, you know how I feel about that. No, the proof is in my audios. You just listen to the lesson. Should you choose to accept it or not, it's up to you. Okay. But whatever you choose to say, hey, your freedom of speech. All right. But here you go, my young follower. There are some things that you do not need to research, and I'm going to give you some examples here. You are living at a time where you are dealing with people who are oversensitive about the things that don't need their sensitivity, and they are not sensitive about things that need their sensitivity. Because now in this generation and country here in the West, we are a donkey walking backwards, where our head and face is behind us. Okay. And what's in front of us is, well, you get the picture there. Okay. We have to listen to what's being said, as what I talked about with our great ancestors. There's plenty of them that I can continue to talk about. Most times it's not about it's not about the person. It's not about who they are. It's not about what they believe in, my fair friend. It's not about if they come from Jupiter, if they are an alien, they're a vampire, they are the world's hated criminal. But if this person is telling you something that can save your life, that's saving your life, this is the very thing that will pull you. When I first listened to Farrakhan, okay, you know my stance on religion, right? And I'm thinking, okay, I know he's standing in the church, and they are about the Muslim nation, so forth and so on. I can't go into detail because I don't know all about it, at least about what their standpoint of view on that percentage. Of course, I've told you I dated a Muslim before and was thick in the lessons and stuff like that, but never been around Farrakhan. But however, listen to this. I was uncomfortable, but I wanted to learn something. So I would listen to the speech, and I would hear about the bad rhetoric. I would hear about bad rumors, okay? Even bad rumors about Muslims or whatever that they believe in, okay? So I'm finding myself saying, why am I sitting here listening to this? I should just, turn it off, go about other direction. But I did not. I sat there and I listened to what they had to say. And in the speeches that was said, there was some powerful words that helped Morpheus. There was some powerful soul uplifting facts that was undeniable that I would have missed if I was sitting there worried about their religion and worried about it being Farrakhan. I would have missed the boat. Okay. So in my maturity, I just sat myself down, told myself to put the shut to the up, shut up, don't say a word. Like I say sometime in the audio to some blue pills. Okay. Put the bottom lip to the top lip. I've done that myself, and it was greatly beneficial, because you have to remember, most times, if you are around people, and we are now today in this generation, what they would do is purposely try to steer you away from something that's actually good for you by giving it bad rumors, giving it a bad reputation, okay, calling it evil, trying to bend it. But there's some facts in what they say. You don't throw the baby out in the bathwater. You throw the bathwater out, you keep the baby there and dry the baby off. You see? That's just like everything in life. When it comes to researching, all right, almost nothing is going to be what's in front of you right now. In its raw form, you wouldn't like it. A car in its raw form is just material. Okay, it's just metal. It's just oily something. The way that they make the tires, it's just chemicals and oil sitting there in a puddle. Okay, metal itself. They have to smelt it down. Okay, the item you even recognize that it could be the car. Even the glass would just be glass sheets before they begin to put it together. Apples, fruits, vegetables is the same way. When you pull it off the tree, sometimes you got to wash it off. You got to clean it. Sometimes you got to wax it. You don't have to wax it. You just rub it good enough, and the apple's going to shine. Especially when you go yield and you get food you get grain. When the farmers go out there and they pull the fruits, the vegetables, okay, that you eat on often, you're not going to want to accept it in its raw form. Oftentimes, it's going to have to go through a due process. Especially milk is the same way. Okay, it has to be cleaned out. There's flowing agents and other enzymes and things in the milk that have to be separated before it can be drinkable for the average human or for babies. Lord forbid I recommend that, but y'all do it anyway. I as a health advisor, that's not smart to do. You know, your baby is not a cow. It's a baby. It's a human baby. It's not a calf. You got milk within your body that's designed and is genetically patterned for that baby's health. Okay. However, getting back to this. So when you are thinking about the research aspect, oftentimes it's what it is, but you got to listen to what the individual is saying. Now, I wrote down some notes here to help you out. You must be careful, my dear friend. And yeah, every time the person say careful, it makes the hairs in the back of your neck go up. But I want it to be in every sense of word. Be careful, as in big letters, or warning, as if you are standing on the ledge of the stairs and people are doing construction in a building. There's a red tape that says, warning, if you go any further, there is no stairs down the bottom. So that means you'll plummet to the bottom. Okay. Most people that are around us today, they are too concerned about the speaker, and they are very little concerned about what the speaker is saying. A lot of times the churches, now listen people, especially you Neo, the churches is this, and I'm gonna give you an example. I've heard as I teach, okay, in my way of teaching, that these women and some men, but it's mostly women because it's the emotional type of thing, they stop going to a certain church. They will disconnect themselves from the pastor or to the pastor only by who the pastor is. By who the pastor is. Oftentimes, if the pastor passes away or the pastor does not want to preach anymore, thanks be to God, I would praise that. I would be saying hallelujah. Yay! Ha! Hallelujah! Ho, 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 ho. Hey! I feel shot. No, ho, ho, la, la, ba, 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 ba. Okay. Because that's one indoctrination down. Okay, that's why I would rejoice. Not the fact that they lost their position. No, I would just be like, yes, because they're, we need to stop that and get real. Anyway, what happens is the congregation move. They leave. They actually leave the church because that pastor is no longer there. But wait a minute. I thought they were there for the word of God, not for the preacher. I thought they were there for the spirit of God, as they claim that it's there, and it's not. It's just the spirit of the people and the hoax of the music. Okay, I thought that's what it was for. Why are they leaving? Because the pastor's no longer there. You see how that works? And it happens all the time. Some of you have been in a church like that, and some of you even know ain'ts that have done that yourself. They'll leave because the pastor left. The pastor's no longer there. So that means they wasn't there to learn. They wasn't there to hear their interpretation of the indoctrination. All right. I'll give you another example. There's been some great speakers on YouTube, some great speakers that I didn't agree with everything that they said, but I listened to what they had to say. I didn't care about who that person was. It didn't matter to me. I was listening to what they were teaching. It doesn't matter to Morpheus, whether they're black, they're white, they're Asian, they're Mexican, okay, Indonesian, African, it don't matter. If they are telling me something that is helping my life, even small things like teaching me how to fix a fan or how to make your garden better or so what I'm telling you is they follow the person. They don't follow the message. They follow the person. If you hear a lot of people often, it's kind of funny. And this is what I used to do. when it came to music, here's another thing. If it sound good, that was it. Oftentimes, and you'll be surprised how many albums, how many CDs, how many songs I've downloaded, how many songs that I have gotten from of multiple genres, country, rock and roll, heavy rock and roll, R&B, and the R&B music that I listen to isn't usually, and it's not going to be the sappy music that men are crying for women and singing for them and all type of stuff, dumb stuff. Okay, simple R&B music that's based on some type of empowerment or based on unity, not based on him getting on one knee. I don't listen to men crying and needing the woman to give him a baby bottle to shut him up. All right. But I would do this on purpose because I listen to the song first. I listen to how I feel about what they're saying first. I listen to their energy. Okay. And then what would happen is someone would come to me later on or weeks or months later. Oh, you know about so-and-so? I'm like, wait a minute. Who are you talking about? Oh, the artist, this and this and that. You know about Busta Rhymes? I'm like, well, okay. What about Busta Rhymes? Man, he got this song out, this blue, 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 blue. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's nice. What are you talking? You mean tell me you don't know about him? I'm like, yeah, I heard about Busta Rhymes. He's a cool guy. He's pretty decent. Yeah, great music. And they'll say, okay, let me give you a sample of the music that he made. I'm like, okay, I listen to music. I'm like, oh yeah, I got that song. I got that. Oh, so you do know about Busta Rhymes? I'm like, no, I know about the song. I know about what he produced, not about the person. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing when you do your research how many people know about all the artists and actresses, stuff like that. But they barely get recognition for their work, for what they are producing. Okay? So here's the lesson of the matter. I know some of y'all want some more examples, and maybe I'll give you a few as soon as it comes to me. Okay? Because you get the picture already. This is elementary, and I hope it does not. And I'm using the word hope because that's elementary, even using that if you're at that level. Okay? But check this out. This is why when you are researching, you're going to find a murky water. It's not going to be brass and golden. There's too much negative in the world. There's too many people that want to make money off of talking about someone else's work. There's too many people that want to put the next artist down to bring themselves up. There's too many bad mouthing consumers and normal civilian people who don't have a career, who don't sing, who's not in the politician ring, who do not produce anything, right? They don't write books. They just sit at home and sit in front of Netflix. And they will put negative comments on your cell phone about people, or they put negative comments in whatever social media. They will make themselves look like they know everything and they talk about everyone, right? And make these people who are trying to do the good work look bad. And then when you get the negative news or the nasty rumor, or you hear that, let's just say Pastor John, for example, Pastor John have been preaching about how to take care of your car in the form of preaching. Okay. And you've been learning under him for a long time. You heard good stuff. Everything is right. Okay. Then you do your research and come to find out there's negative rhetoric from his congregation, or for a few people that didn't like him, or Reverend John probably booted the back of the church out because it was teenagers who was raised up by a single mother. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Don't get mad. Okay. And they know no respect. They don't have authority because they never had an authority figure at home. It was just mom. Okay. Dad was gone. So they're rowdy. Okay. Mom is too tired to be dealing with that. All right. But she decided to take up the task. I'll leave that to the Red Pill Alphas to discuss this. My other brother, Red Pill Alphas, to talk about that story. Okay. However, so Reverend John's like, I'm not dealing with this. You are disturbing the Sunday class, or you're disturbing the church service. You need to leave. Usher so and so and minister so and so, escort them out of the church. And he does that. Okay, so the group of teenagers, and believe me or not, it's just not teenagers. They're grown adults who act like that too, because they carry that behavior into their mature days, to their older age. However, so you would hear rumors talking about, I hate Reverend John because Reverend John is no good, who did this, he did that, he's, then negativity. They start talking about his personal life. They start talking about his bankruptcy days. They start talking about him when he was probably drinking or smoking when he was a teenager. Okay, they start going deep into his personal his past. Okay, unnecessarily, all because they're of an evil mind, because he did something right that they didn't like. All he tried to do was teach his Sunday school class, and they interrupted Pastor John. And Pastor John said, "Get out." And they was offended. They was mad. Like, you ain't about to put me out. I can do whatever I want to, because my mom buy me anything I want. My dad buy me anything I want. I can do anything I want to do because I can get away with it. And they've been buying me things. I got a smartphone because they gave it to me anyway, even though I haven't did anything to buy it. I'm lazy. I don't want to do anything at home. I'm about 16, getting ready to be 17. You can't tell me that because I'm grown. Blank you, pastor, don't, right in the middle of service, right? I'm going to give you an example, taking it to the next level for some of you. I got to do that as a teacher because some of you aren't at that level. Okay. So all of a sudden, bad, boom, cursing, whatever. He sends them out. All they got now is, I want revenge. They're embarrassed because right in front of all their people that they know, or probably even their peers, those who are in school with them in the church, because, church is no longer just about learning something. It's about what do you call that? Congregating. Okay. It's not about learning. So it's not about trying to figure out who God is. It's not about trying to figure out their functioning, if there's spirituality in this, or if gesture is real. It's all about what gesture have done. As a matter of fact, not researching if it exists. So they're not even there to understand that. Okay. They just care about the family and the people that are there. Oh, I want to go because Mary Ann is there. So I want to go because Mary Ann is at the church. I want to be there because she's there. That's all. Not because I want to feel the spirit of a God. Okay. Not going to be there ever, anywhere. And so now they mad. They got social media accounts. And here comes the negativities. Boom. They throwing it out there. Twitter, Facebook, whatever else they can put it at. Okay. Talking about Pastor John. Right. And all of a sudden, Pastor John's dirty laundry is sent to your phone. My 16-year-old emailer. It's sent to your phone. You get the comments on Pastor John. You used to listen to Pastor John because Pastor John has been a friend to you in his speeches, in his studies, in his Bible studies. He raised you up as a father, whereas your father was barely acknowledgeable. Okay, your father was struggling, but he was the one to talk to you, to help you, right? With his ministries. And now you get the negative words about what other people think about Pastor John, his personal life. Then if you are weak-minded, which a lot of people are, listen to me carefully. This is the lesson. A lot of people are weak-minded. They will concentrate only on the rhetoric and the negativity on Pastor John. That's all they concentrate on, is who's talking about what about Pastor John. Oh, Pastor John fornicated when he was, 21 years old with a waitress. Right? And here he is, a 46-year-old man. Okay. And we're acting like children and going to gossip around the church about him fornicating with some woman when he was 21 years old, as if that matters what he is teaching you at the present. So you'll end up your vision will start twisting a little bit because of the negative energy that those groups of people who was booted out of the circle have created. Okay. And also it's TMI. I think that's what people call it. Too much information. And it is useless information. You say TMI, useless, too much information. Because that's what I mean by people are sensitive about the wrong things. They're overly sensitive. they're overly sensitive. They're not sensitive about the wrong things. How about that? They're overly sensitive. Okay, I got myself twisted up here. Y'all know what I mean. Yeah, I'm on fire right now. So, okay, I kind of sputter a little bit. I can deal with that. Okay, I'm not perfect, and I don't mind displaying that. However, so that ends up becoming the normal of a lot of people that are negative, people who don't want to move forward, people who don't want America to succeed, people who aren't trying to do better for themselves. It is true that the reason why America is going downhill is because people got their hooks in it and they want it to go down, because they are raised by evil. They are raised by, there's something that Jesse Peterson said a few times before, and I kind of laughed at that when I glimpsed at some of his work. Of course, I don't agree with everything. You're not going to agree with everything a person say, but he starts saying that people are the children of the lie. Children of the lie. And it makes sense. It makes sense because the children of the lie do not want America to move forward. Children of the lie are the ones who will sit back in the back of a computer and will not just air dirty laundry, but they put bad words. They try to put people down. They try to worry about the individual. They don't worry about the message because they don't want you to get the message. If you get the message, you're going to be empowered. I got the message when Farrakhan was speaking and other speakers were speaking. I got the message and it made me stronger. If I listened to the children of the lie, I would have been stuck. I would have been in trouble. I would not have been able to succeed out of my powerless days, because his task wasn't about negative rhetoric. His task wasn't about destruction. It was just about straightforward empowerment. So I was able to achieve and receive that. All right. But you got your Agent Smiths, children of the lie, okay, who will put things online for you to get. So therefore, when you do your research, you're going to find the negativity while you find the positivity, and now you are confused. You're confused. Then eventually you start staying away from, oh, the person's good, the person's bad, they talk good, I'm not going to even deal with it at all. I'm going to find somebody else who's 100% pure, which you're not going to find, because they're going to be, Agent Smith is all over the place. Negative rhetoric is all over the place. There are people who will say negativities about people who are doing something positive. It don't matter what you do online. It don't matter what you're trying to do. You're trying to create a car. You're trying to make a car. You're trying to broadcast a car. You're trying to broadcast your video games. You're trying to say something that is positive. All you're trying to do is be a simple, decent American civilian who's just trying to share your content with the world and try to help someone who may need your struggle. Okay, there's going to be 25 people or somebody like, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to talk about this person. Look at his pants. Look at his shirt. Look at his hair. Look how tall he is. What did he talk about? He talk like he's French. The man white? Is he black? Dang, you don't know who he is. Why does he talk like that? Where was he raised up? Where is his credentials? What kind of school did he go to? Where's his USLA? What? What's this? The list goes on. Well, how much money he make? Where he come from? What type of style he come out? Blah 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 blah. And it goes on and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And none of it have anything ever to do with what they are teaching you. Nothing. This man is trying to instruct you on how to fix your computer. And he's in front of the computer showing you how to put a chip on the computer and solder it together. Right? Trying to be kind and giving. And then you got 5 people talking about, your table's dirty. Like, look at his fingernails. My God, how's he able to do like, really? Look at the back of his, where is he doing his workout? In his garage or in his bedroom? Is he scared of his wife? Why does he have the door closed? You're like, my God, are these people actually putting this in the comment boxes? What's wrong with these people? You will research bad stuff. Okay, because the way we think nowadays, we have been chewing the bad pills. Okay, we are out of our mind. We're not trying to learn. We're not trying to do better. We're not trying to learn something that's going to help the human race. We want to destroy the human race by worrying about all the unnecessary petty differences, like we're in Willie Lynch all over again. Petty differences, petty things that are irrelevant. As if it matters what the color of his garage is, or the color of his hands, or how big his nails is. The fact is, he's telling you how to put your rickety, tore up, broken computer back together with the kindness of his work of putting the content together to give it to you. You don't worry about, he almost fell out of the chair. Look at him. His voice is kind of, is he drunk? Like, doesn't matter what he's on. He can be on LSD. If he's sitting there teaching you something, you went to the channel because you want to learn how to put a computer chip that was broken into your computer, and he showed you how to do it, and you worried about who's teaching you. These people, wow. Now that's what you call amazing. So you do have to be aware. You research things that matter. Yes, there's going to be some times where you have to go forward and dig just a little bit, but you have to be weary because the path is going to be like a branch of a tree, because there's lots of people that aren't trying to learn. There's lots of people that's not like you. Okay. So you don't want to take that to heart. You don't have to always pull out your Google phone, and you don't always have to pull out your smartphone. You use your instincts. You know what Morpheus does? And I know you probably got that question mark. What do you do, Morpheus? I don't pull out my smartphone. I don't pull out my cell phone. I use my mind and my instinct. Look, like I explained to you about the church, it's because I've seen it for myself. I was in the situation myself. I'm telling you about experience. I've seen it. I'm sitting in the back of the church. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's all the people at? Where'd they go? Oh, they decided to go because Pastor so-and-so left. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Wait. Why? Oh, because, they're just like the pastor. Let me give you an example again. And there's something else I need to share with y'all. I'm going to get off that because y'all need to hear something else. Okay. I went into a church one day. One of my, believe it or not, there was a pastor did want to talk to me about what I was talking about. Okay. They didn't understand my content. All right. And I'm always up for a debate. I told you I don't debate. I really don't, because truth will stand up for itself. And to tell you a little bit more about Morpheus, okay, anything that supports the matrix, anything that is deceptive as the discussions that I have, okay, especially when it comes to children, when it comes to family, when it comes to the root of love that some of you don't have anymore, don't know anything about, my teeth come out automatically. It just starts coming out of my mouth, and I want to eat it, meaning my competition. I want to just destroy it all together with all gumption and power. But okay, with the support team, like, oh well, maybe I'll listen to what he has to say, because I'm gonna say what I am going to say. Okay, don't hold back or pull punches. All right. No matter what type of ministers he have standing around there. Oh, this is Morpheus coming in here. This guy's 6 feet something. No. All right, get 9 ministers in here. But we'll see. Okay. I go into the church, and I'm walking in there, and my assistant is with me, right? And I'm calm, just calm as a cat, right? And there's another minister that's standing at the door. Oh, Mr. C, come on in, right? And I said, wait a minute. I stopped him right there with my hand up. Said, wait a minute. And I peeked through the foyer, right? Listen up carefully, Americans. Okay. It's going to be a dinger. Okay. I seen the pastor sitting there on the pulpit, and at least 7 or 8 women of the church was just around him like a flock of doves and birds. And I didn't immediately assume, because the one thing you never want to do is assume, because you don't know what the image is. No, it wasn't. No, they weren't having, donkey dunking. No, they're just talking. Okay. I listened to what they was talking about, which was really nothing. They were trying to impress him. They were chasing after the pastor. Women, what they do. Oh, he's popular. He got this good church, this vast church, and the men were gone. The husbands was out of there. Okay. And some of you already know that the church is where women try to repackage themselves. The church is where they try to hide their hidden devils from being donkey dunking specialists. Okay, so they can repackage it to blue pill betas that walk into church and look for an answer from some sky daddy that don't exist and be misled to marry this girl who is wow, man, I got to be nice here. I got to be really nice. She's a really bad car with a lot of miles on it and rust. They just repainted it and put it back out there, and it's going to fail on the man as soon as he pull it off the lot. Okay. So I'm listening to him. I said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not getting ready to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Okay. And the minister was like, so where are you going, Mr. C? Is the meeting over? Are you going to, you going to counsel or something? Or, cause he's going to be done in a few minutes. I said, no, I'm done. I'm not going to waste my time. See, I'm not going to waste my time. This is why I don't debate. And here's the catch. First of all, I know women and I know why they standing there. Second of all, I'm red pill alpha. I know what other red pill alphas would do, and I know what blue pills would do. Third of all, I know about the hypergamy. Fourth of all, I know that women just want to be around it because they want to be the next in line. They're not there to learn anything. Okay. And the reason why I know what red pill alphas would do, because he wouldn't be sitting there with a flock of women around him. Okay. But pastors like that's why they're in that position. Women do that. They go to the church because that's why they're in the position. He would never understand what we were getting ready to talk about. Never. Okay. Because he's in a position where he's comforted by the Agent Smiths and the women who don't have a soul or don't have any direction for their life but the chase and monkey branch. That's all they know how to do. For me, myself, standing there with 7, 8 different girls around me, I'll clear that out. I'll filter it out really fast. I empty the nonsense because I evaluate them real quickly and I eliminate those who I know full well, okay, is not going to be proper for my future nor my success. So if you see any girl there, it may be either 1 or 2. That means the other one might be sitting in a distance in the pew and the other one might be sitting right next to me. That's it. Because I want her at a distance because I got my eyes on her. Don't trust her like that. The one that's close to me, I really don't trust her. That's why she's sitting next to me. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Okay. So you got 7 or 8 of them standing right around him and he's sitting there pretending as if he's Jesus, the Christ. I wasn't going to tolerate it. I got other things to do. I was out of there. Done deal. Okay. Done deal. Next, and this is going to end this audio. Let me give an example about something that I had an experience when I was a kid. Okay. And tell you a little bit something about how the operation of real life works versus your cognitive dissonance about the universe when people are lying to you or you think they're talking to you. Okay. When we would leave church on a Sunday, okay, Sunday afternoon, it was Sunday morning, it would turn afternoon, something like 1, 2 o'clock, something 3 o'clock. And it happened like 2 or 3 different times. I'd walk out of church and this older man, appeared from practically nowhere. I didn't know where he appeared from, but he definitely wasn't in church. He didn't go in church. He was scruffy. He had a bearded face and he had a long robe on like he was a Muslim. He had a Muslim like robe or something like that. And the hat is, he wore the hat every now and then. And he was very calm. I was a 10-year-old boy. And I never forget, I walk over there to the sidewalk before the rest of them would get out of the church. And he asked me, he asked me a question. He would ask me like at least 2 or 3 different times. The first time he asked, he said, young man. I'm like, okay. I'm looking at him. I'm not scared of nothing anyway. I don't care. Y'all do the stranger danger stuff. I don't know. Not Morpheus. Okay. I've been real for a long time. Trust me. So he's like, he said, tell me about God. I didn't know what to answer. I didn't know all I could say was what they said. All I could say is what the minister said, what the pastor said, what the church said. That's all I could say. You know, some of you was the same. You know, all you could say is what someone told you, what someone said to you, what God is. So I'm like, I'm going down, you know, Jesus is God and he's good. God is good. Okay. He's looking like he got a smile on his face. And he patted me on the head. He said, okay, well, have a good day, and scrolled off. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this was an odd event here. You know, this is okay. I'm feeling good to myself because some of y'all are always thinking angels in disguise. So I'm thinking I made an angel in disguise. I'm thinking I'm feeling good on the inside, feeling great. And so 2 more Sundays passed, and no, it was the next Sunday. It was the next Sunday. Okay. And left church again. I don't even know why he picked me. But it's like, I walk out there not paying attention. I'm just standing on the sidewalk, hands crossed, waiting to go home and play my Nintendo. Whatever they're talking about on the inside was wah, 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 wah. I'm sitting there like, come on, man, come on. Come on, man. Come on. Especially at the end of the church. I hated it when it was altar call time. I hated it because before altar call time and altar call, that was the worst. Because during that time, the pastor would keep filibustering, or he'd keep on stalling out. Like, yeah, I'm going to let you go, but so-and-so. You know, let's do some announcements now. So-and-so. I'm sitting like, oh, God, I'm just getting ready to go. I hated it because I couldn't drive myself home. Okay, I was stuck in church because I was dragged into the church. Okay, I was kidnapped to go to church against my will and my free will. Okay, I didn't want to be there at all. In the morning, I needed to sleep. Had fun on Saturday night. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm forced to go to school. Okay, Monday through Friday, and now I need to be enjoying my weekend that I have and be a child. But mommy and Blue Pill Simp Dad wants to wake up early in the morning, 9 o'clock, which I hate, okay, and put on these old uncomfortable pants that I don't like wearing, stiff, and this hard belt, and comb my hair like hard, and I hate that, till tears. And I'm sitting there watching these cartoons, SpongeBob and and other channels that will come on early in the morning, Doug's World, Nickelodeon. I'm sitting there like, this is what I'm supposed to be. I need to be watching this right now. This is what I need to be watching. I'm sitting there like, I don't want to watch it. And they want to turn the TV, and I'm standing there in front of the TV to the last second till everybody get ready to leave the house. So I'm standing there just like, and then they turn the channel off, the TV off. And I'm regretting it. And I'm feeling just like, oh God, here we go. And I'm looking like Steve Urkel walking out of the door, hating myself and everybody else. Tired, still got sleep in my eyes, tripping, coming down the stairs. And come on, let's go. I'm like, where are we going? To get brainwashed? God, y'all. Like, yeah. So you can imagine how I felt just standing there. So it was always, I'm ready to go. I'm the first one outside. I'm going to do kid activity. I'm going to play with the people that I know of in the church, the peers and all like that. And I'm going to be ready to go. I need to get back home to real life. And so he strolls up behind me again. I'm like, oh, now I recognize him. And he's like, oh, how are you? I never asked his name. He probably did. It's been so long ago. He probably told me his name. We probably exchanged pleasantries. Okay. But I was just accepting it for what it was. It was a unique moment. I like those unique moments. That I'm Morpheus. Is what I do. A pink horse fly out of the sky. I'm not going to run. I'm going to look at it and be like, this is amazing. Flying saucer would be right there over my head. I'm like, look at this. Oh, this is cool. What is this? Amazing. Creatures start coming out and somebody shake my hand. Tall creature, big eyes. I mean, oh, okay. How are you doing? What's up? There's the nearest McDonald's is around the corner. Be careful though, you get fat. Right. Anyhow, he asked the question again. He says, He says, so tell me about God today. Here we go again. I'm sitting here. Well, they said that, well, they said that Jesus was crucified, whatever, but God is good. Oh, okay. And he goes off again. And he leaves. All right, have a good day. And I'm just thinking, okay, wow, like, what's his deal? Like, this is amazing. And he disappeared too. He'd be gone. He'll show up when I don't know that he's there, and he would disappear. He'd be standing there for a minute. You see him ride off. Sometimes he'd be on a bike. He'd be on a bike, right? And he would I'll see him go forward. I'll look around and I'm like, okay, you know what kids do, just not pay attention. He's gone. He probably dipped around the corner. I don't know. Wherever it was, he'd show up that way. He'd leave that way. Okay. So, third time was the last time. And I never seen him thereafter. And last time was, let's see, in a different hour. Amazing. It was amazing how it was different hours. It was different hours of the day. Because we leave, sometimes the pastor is long-winded. So it's not gonna, they say you're gonna leave at 1 o'clock, you 1:30. Okay, 2 o'clock, you're gonna be 3 o'clock. So it was never at the specific time where he knew church would let out. It would be just the perfect moment. I'm outside and there he is. Bam, he's there. Okay, so it wasn't like it was planned. Okay. And so this time he had 2 sons with him, older sons. And he was like same uniform that he had on. He has 2 sons now. And he introduced his sons to me. This is so-and-so. This is so-and-so. So how was church today this time? Oh, church was okay. It was fine. This is, just the usual teaching. And this time I'm like, okay, have a good day. I didn't know you had any sons. Yep, these are my boys here. All right, tell me about God. I'm like, oh, here we go. They said that, they said that God can heal. God makes blessings. God is a good God. Okay. All right. Well, have a good day, son. Take care of yourself. He strolls along on his bike. There's 2 sons next to him. Okay. And boom, I had a few minutes, gone. Felt a little connection. Now, like, okay, I know the guy. Cool. Done deal. He wouldn't talk to anybody else. He would not talk to anybody else. He wouldn't sit there and congregate with the church. He'd come, go. And here's the lesson of this. It's amazing how most kids are in that same position where it don't matter what it is. Okay, yeah, you can teach them math. Fair enough. It's true. Teach them how to fish. Okay? Teach them about cars if you want. It's true. How to put the lug nuts on. Take the tire off, son. Do it this way. Right? Teach him how to brush his teeth. Hygiene. Take care of himself. Teach them that not to chase women. That these girls are not loyal. Okay? Teach them all that, which they need to know that. Right? True stuff. True talk. But when you teach a child mythical thinking, mythical, traditional, idiotic behavior, and it's like you program the child against that child's will, and they really don't know about it. They really aren't really there as like you are. And the child really don't have that experience. I love this part. This is going to be the cherry on top of the cake of why I'm telling you all this. Okay. You don't know until you experience. And that's one of the biggest things ever. Like a lot of stuff that is taught is just word of mouth. It's word of other people's experience. It's mythical. It's writing. It's indoctrination from the pastor. It's misleading. It's misinformation and miseducation at best. Because now here's the trick. You get this ball of mud as a child. It's a ball of mud. Now you got to spend, let's say you've been taught this since you was 22, 24, 25. Now you got to spend the remainder of the 25 years or the other years trying to decipher what that ball of mud was. And so your task is to break it down and relearn what you have learned before. Or you could say you have to deprogram the way you've been programmed and reprogram yourself the right way. And that destruction is devastating for most children. I always use that word because it is that word. It is devastating. Some people don't survive. There's many people. I heard a documentary of a person who used to burn crosses in the middle of the church yard. a lot of people thought it was the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. All right. A lot of people thought it was some racism going on or something. And you know me, I'm sitting back like, no. We need to, no, not really. Not all the time. No. We got to look at this let's look at this differently. Let's look at this different. So come to find out in some of the studies, it wasn't that they hated people in the church. It wasn't about being black or white. It was because they did not stand for what they were trying to preach, and they found the truth and they were hurt. They were turned off by it. They like, what? You taught me this since I was this, and you ruined my life. I really thought that God was real. I really thought that gesture, and you what? And there goes the burning cross. And people, that's racism. People are just, they're just burning crosses. Let's run. The road people are here. The road, but people are no. Again, see what I mean by when you take things by face value and rumors and people talking nonsense because they just talk. It has to be the same. Well, here comes the usual case. Maybe it's just some prejudiced people acting funny. Shallow water stuff. Just because you think it's all the time. What I tell you about chaos in one of my other audios, chaos can go any way. That means you don't know what's going to happen. That means you're not sure that today is going to be the same as yesterday. It wasn't the reason all the time. There were groups of people that have found out at late times in their life that, you know what, this pastor, this church, these churches are teaching a lie and have destroyed my life. And here I am waiting for the clouds to split any moment. Oh, the rapture can come at any moment. I will not ever know the day nor the hour when the Son of Man comes. The Son of Man. Amazing. The Son of Man. Interesting. Thou shalt not know when God will come. In some of y'all interpretation, you never know when Jesus' gesture is going to break through the cloud. For many of you, that interpretation is for you. And you're sitting there twirling your thumbs, ignoring your education, ignoring your life here on earth, ignoring making your paradise here on earth. Some of you probably even ignore your children's health. Ignore preparations for the future. Ignore trying to create a infrastructure. Ignore trying to invest in the stock market. Ignore trying to create something for yourself, out of yourself, to do something greater than what you are currently, because you are thinking, well, God's going to come at any second. So let me sit here and twirl my thumbs and wait for him. And I've been waiting for more than 2,000 years plus now already. Okay. I'm just saying that by the number. The number is actually different. Earth is older than that. Okay. By the known number, or some people say the known world, by the common numerals that we know of being, 2020s and up. Okay. Some people say 2,000 years, but it was more than that. The number's off. Okay. This is be honest. It's off. Okay. This year is not the true year. Ooh, Morpheus did not say that. No, because Morpheus is very smart. Okay, and with instincts, the earth is older than that. Before we start coming up with numbers and ideas of how to construct an idea of an organized world is by putting numbers together and words and calling it God. Anyhow, before I start tripping. So practically is this, and I'm going to end this audio log. Now I'm sounding like a pastor. That's when it's time to research and filter out the facts soon, instead of going along with the program and figuring out later on in your life, whereas you're completely upset and you want vengeance by then. But the only person that you can blame is usually yourself for believing, because the churches tell you what it is. It's telling you what it is. That's another reason why I didn't want to go in there and talk to the pastor. What was there to talk about? There's no need to debate. I'm not angry, nor am I mad at anything that I've done, that they have done. What's done is done. They're telling you to your face. People around the country tell you to your face. You hear people on YouTube and social media tell you to your face what it is. You hear it from saints all the time. Saints all the time. They say it's a matter of faith and belief system. Do you know what faith and belief is? You don't have to have faith and belief in something that is true. You don't believe that you are who you are. No, have faith in who you are. You know who you are. It's a matter of knowing, and you do not know. I did not know. All I could do was say, well, they told me that, God is this. Like, tell me about God. How you gonna tell somebody about something that's been told to you? Amazing. But we do this to our children every day. Okay. We got those pictures on our walls every day. Okay. We got the crucifix everywhere in the house, candles, prayer books and everything all around the places. All right. And kids are right along with it, with the program. Instead of you sitting down, look at it, stare at it as long as you want to, and think about what I just said. And I'm going to close it with this. If you're putting your life and your soul on a thing, then you're going to have to go deep into it. You're going to have to either know it or don't know it. Because if you're going by hoping for it, or having belief in it, or having faith in it, okay, then you are automatically allowing yourself to be lost, and it is not the church's fault. I don't sit here and talk bad about preachers or the church. I talk about the teaching and the indoctrination, because they're not lying to you. They tell you it is about belief and faith, because the pastor themselves wasn't there. Practically nobody was there underneath the cross, sitting there at that moment. You can't argue with that. And it goes even deeper than that. And I've already explained a lot of it in my other audio logs, so I can't tell it all here. Okay. So if you're going to put it will be best. And this is how I look at it. It will be best for you to not believe in a thing by belief, period, and be completely 100% honest with yourself, knowing who you are and where you are standing at in life. Then for you to be 120% only in belief, and do not trust, do not know yourself, and do not know where you are standing in life or existence. Because when you get to that point, it is a win or a lose situation. And most times it is a lose when you neglect yourself. So I'd rather stand there and be judged and say, yep. If y'all thinking, oh, God's going to judge me, I'd rather stand there and be like, yep, okay, yep, I did it because I want to do it, because it's me. Because look, it's my book. I written it. Okay, I'm Leon C, aka Morpheus. All right, it's 2020, America Rise or Fall Hard. I wrote it. Yep, I did. And I do not apologize. I don't repent. And if you try to make me repent, then you're going to have some troubles, because I'm not going to. Okay, I'm completely resistant and I have resolve. You don't. Then for me to back away from knowing myself, loving myself, trusting myself, having 100% confidence in myself, only to get in a belief system. That's for idiots that want to jump off of a podium and go straight into the water, not even looking to see if there's water down below. Case closed. I got more for you to come. I told you what my name is.